Over a key indicator on the Bitcoin price charts. You can see right here, we're going to go over this absolutely key indicator that just flashed. And historically, this only happens every 4 years. This is so key for the importance of the Bitcoin dominance and this upcoming bull market in 2021. It's going to be fascinating to see what happens in December. We're going to do a little bit of technical analysis today, as well as explain exactly what this indicator means. Now, what we're talking about is this hash ribbons indicator. Now, as you can see here, we're in the weekly time frames, but if you zoom in and you take a look at where the charts are going, what you can actually see is these green dots slowly building up, and then you have a blue dot that hits. This blue dot represents a buy mark. And with the hash ribbons, what's really important to remember is every time we've seen this historically, this blue buy, it's really gone parabolic. So we can kind of show you at each of these points, and we can get rid of the M&A ribbons just to clear this up. Boom, get rid of the volume. We can also clear up the Bollinger Bands. But every time we see this happening, we see a massive parabolic move to the upside. You can see back here, if you purchased at this buy right here, we saw a slow grow and then a massive parabolic move to the upside. And then let's go. And that really went parabolic, as you can see. And again, this is on the weekly time frame. So what in the short time frames, if you're doing margin trading, these are 100x gains that we're looking at here. So you have a buy signal here, you see a massive parabolic move to the upside. We're just going to keep reviewing each of these, and it's interesting because historically there's actually a chart. Somebody has tracked each of these hash ribbon symbols throughout the Bitcoin price chart history, and what you end up finding is every single time we've had a buy signal, which, by the way, we had one today, so that's why I'm making this video. You can't see it yet on the weekly charts. It will be there by the end of the week. But even these ones very early, you go, once you expand this out and you really take a look at it like this, you see this incredible, all this price action back here is pretty flat because that was 200, 100 range. But this buy mark you get in here, I mean, that's a crazy upside. That's, around, let's see, if you bought at $50, then $50 turns into $1,000. So this is a pretty insane indicator. Basically, what this shows us is how the miners are reacting. So what's being profitable for the miners? So the hash power in the Bitcoin network is basically the computer power, the function power of the miners that are, and I'm not going to go into detail if you don't understand the Bitcoin process. That's a whole nother video, but basically Bitcoin is mined every day. So Bitcoin's basically a programmable monetary supply, where Satoshi Nakamoto wrote in the Bitcoin white paper how this all plays out. And the beautiful thing here is it's all transparent. So to have an incentivized system where miners make money from running Bitcoin nodes and in full nodes, mash nodes, all these different things, what you do is you basically have to incentivize them to run the system. So Bitcoin is set up so there only will ever be 21 million Bitcoin, but every single day there's a fixed supply that's entering the market. So it was 800 a day, and then every 4 years there's a halving. And what this shows us with these buy signals is when it becomes very profitable for the miners, and this is when we see parabolic moves to the upside. So this is the biggest correction we've ever seen in the history of these hash ribbons right here. As I was talking about, someone has recorded the historical timeline for these hash ribbons, and this was the biggest downside. This was a 40% dip, but the upside is historically it's like 7% is the lowest, but this is the one outlier, and this was the corona dump. This was back in March. This was, the coronavirus dump when the stock market dumped by half. This was a definite outlier, but it's bound to happen at any point. It could happen now. It could happen with this one. But the key thing here is to understand the macro trend, seeing what these buy signals mean, seeing this incredible price action when we see these buy signals. And as I was saying, here, we'll exit out of here for a second. If we're just looking at this at a macro kind of time frame, as I was saying, the biggest upside was 500%. So that means, you put in $1,000, you don't get $5,000, a 5x. You don't get $50,000, a 50x. You get $500,000. Insane. And you can just expand that. $2,000 turns into $1 million at 500%. So this is pretty insane. You also can take a look at I like to use the Bollinger Bands. Maybe we'll do a video on kind of some indicators here coming up, but this hash ribbons indicator is so powerful, and it really shows that first of all, we are a little bit overdue for a dip in the Bitcoin price. If we go to the 1 day time frame, where you see this parabolic move towards the upside, we saw a little bit of a correction, but we're bound due for another one, as we have not closed the CMA gap. So we have a CMA gap around the $17,000 mark, and I have this little drawn out on the daily charts. So you can see we took this little dip right here. We met some support, bounced back up. We have seen today kind of a little bit of a correction, but if you go into the 1 hour time frame, you can kind of see this. So we expand this out. Sorry. Expand this out. You can see we had a bit of a dip. We were heading into this triangle, and we've seen this dip below. Basically, the key thing here is when you see this hash ribbons indicator, it doesn't mean necessarily to buy right now. It means to position yourself so you can get in below this all-time high, because keep in mind that once we hit above 2,000 on all exchanges, all all-time highs are different on each exchange, but once we hit that, there is no resistance going up. So a lot of people are predicting 30K, 40K. I think by the end of 2021 we could see over 6 figures. A lot of people think that. A lot of people think that's a low estimate, but I'd be curious to know what you guys are thinking for 2021 price predictions. Also, what you think of this this incredible indicator, which, by the way, if you're on TradingView, all you have to do is down here where you see all these different options you have, you go to FX, indicators and strategies. You can search. So these are all the ones that I use. I use Bollinger Bands, I use the EMA ribbon, and then I use hash ribbons. But all you have to do is search. So you can go, candlestick patterns, you can go public library, and then you could do, hash ribbons. And right there, this is a great one. So the one I have starred by Caprioli, and it has over 8,000 people using it. But absolutely incredible indicator, very, very bullish for Bitcoin. But keep in mind, in the short term, in the macro, we're very, very bullish. We see incredible news on things that maybe we'll cover in another video. But we have indices the S&P is going to do on Bitcoin, and anyways, we could see a little correction back down here. It might even be a little bit healthy to go back down to this level where somewhere in between here. So we could see anywhere in kind of that area happen. Even I can expand this out as well, so that's probably better. So you can see we could retrace back down to here, and it would be incredible. Anytime you have an area of support set up like this, that's not only support back here, but it's actually historical support. So you zoom out, and it goes all the way back. It goes back to our last all-time high. We're on the 1 hour time frame, so it's hard to show exactly right now why this is so key. But basically, that's what I wanted to focus on in today's video, some technical analysis, as well as just kind of checking out what's going on today. Bollinger Bands can be very, very powerful to use. Also, if you're using the moving average ribbon, seeing that we're breaking below it right here. So every time we break below, you can kind of see how this works. So every time we break above, we're using this as support. We're kind of bouncing off, and we broke below right here, bouncing off, break below. Usually when we break below, we see lower lows, so like this, for example, and then you kind of bounce on this area, go up, use that as support. And all of this, historically is proven. This is just on the 1 hour time frame, so it's a bit harder to see, but like right here is a great example. We were bouncing bouncing, and then when you break below, so here bouncing, using it as support, break below, break below, break below. It's just oscillating this pattern, and I really think we could be seeing lower lows today. You know, you kind of expand this out, we could see things go way lower. So this is very, very interesting for the Bitcoin price. I would definitely be curious to hear what you guys think for a price prediction for 2021. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please leave us a like and subscribe. And until next time.